suplex.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, September 18th. Coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Aaron Phillips, the Chief, is in the house. Mr. Matt Mullen is in the house.
What's up?
Aaron Ellick is on the board. Brett's just hanging with us. Why would it sound echoey? I sound like I'm in the backdrop. There we go. Brett Lawson from Unsportsmanlike Conduct is hanging with us because he's a wrestling mark. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Mr.
Outstanding.
Matt?
Tired but good.
All right, any stories? We got to get started with stories. We haven't done stories in a while.
For legal purposes, this is all a joke. But this bum walked by me and somewhat whispered in my ear that he was going to come back and kill me.
Uh-oh.
So I might have grabbed him and scared him enough that his pants changed colors.
Might have.
Might have.
It's hearsay.
Haha, it's a joke.
There you go. Here I am. That's exactly.
From yellow to yellow, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yellow to brown. So, as I'm watching the chat room, by the way, we want to thank. Listen, I expect the phone lines to blow up today. 702-329-6947. Press 1 if you're outside the U.S. 1-855-502-4321. Or, of course, you can send us a tweet. If you like to do that, we'll put it up on the screen using hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere. And my room is blowing up because the topic, Dark Side of the Ring, with the Flight from Hell, the big topic this past week, we will get into it. We will talk about our thoughts. If you haven't watched it yet, we don't mean to give you any spoilers. We apologize if it becomes a spoiler alert, but we do have to talk about it because it's critical stuff in terms of not only the event itself, which I got to be honest with you, I didn't even realize that this event happened years ago. But now watching it, the aftermath after the show aired to said Tommy Dreamer and now Ric Flair as well. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. Hope everybody's having a great week. Chief, you and I were at Cauliflower Alley Club this past week. I was there on Monday.
We were.
So our good friends April and Lori.
We did. And we saw some other gentlemen and ladies that
may make an appearance
from the wrestling era.
Well, listen, I had the pleasure of...
Shall we tell them who?
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting the great Paul Ellering. Was there, chatted with him for a few minutes. Gorgeous George, Randy Macho Man Savage Valet back in the day, for what she's most known for. She's in the process of writing a book. And when that book is complete, she is willing, would love to come on. And, of course, Paul Ellering, what a guy. I chatted with him for, 10, 15 minutes. And the great news is I'm going to be reaching out to him. You also met him
yes.
there.
Yes.
And we're going to get Paul Ellering on the show in the coming weeks as well. And who knows who else?
How about Thunderbolt Patterson?
Yeah, he was. I didn't see him, but you had a chance to chat with him.
I got a chance to chat with him both days I was there.
Yeah.
And what memories. J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon was there. Medusa was there. She was one of the honorees.
Len Denton, the grappler.
Yeah. RVD was there.
RVD.
He was also being honored. I guess I didn't win the belt. They had a belt up for grabs that was made with all the honorees' names.
And can I do a quick shout out?
Please.
Jay Grimmer, thank you very much for completing the task. The task was I gave Jay a mask of Rey Mysterio.
Got it signed.
And he got it signed for
Right
me.
on.
So, Jay, thanks very much.
And, of course, for the second year in a row, at least for me, of course, no CAC last year, I was on commentary. I want to thank our good friend MK, Matt Robles, for setting all that up. And I had a new partner to break in on wrestling broadcasting. Mr. Brett Lawson was there with me.
Yes, he was.
broke his chops in the wrestling commentary world. I'm waiting to get from Matt copies of at least the last two events that Brett and I did, last two matches, so that we can critique him and kind of go over them. But it was fun.
And MK got his chops
Oh,
broke
my
by
gosh.
Medusa put the shit on
Laid
him.
him out. He
Whooped him up.
He couldn't even come back to the broadcast booth.
Well, whooped
he
him
came
up.
out. His head was wrapped. Matt Medusa laid into him 3, 4, 5 times, and one of them was a really hard connection. And
she put it on him the old school way.
Thank you. Jameis is in the chat room. Thank you. Phil Campbell is in the chat room. Chris is in the chat room. Nicholas Burnett in the chat room. Thomas, Who else is out there that I haven't seen yet? Shant is out there. Mr. Shark is good. All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. All right, let's get started with a couple of rumors.
Call in because the chief says so.
There you go, 702-329-6947. Press 1. All right, I hear voices. Rumor is Bray Wyatt will debut for AEW in Brody Lee's hometown of Rochester, New York on September 29th. Gentlemen?
Please let that happen. I hope that's not a rumor. I want to see a fully creative Bray Wyatt let loose on the world.
I totally agree. And I mean, we know the love that was there between Brody and Bray, and it would be the appropriate time frame, as you say, to let Bray loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think they kind of have to, because originally Bryan Danielson was going to debut at the tennis center at the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Ashe.
And I guess with fears of changes in COVID regulations and stuff, that they decided to debut him when he did a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
That I think now, I think the 29th, though, is after that event. Is it not in New York?
Yeah.
So I think they need that follow-up, and I think if they do it, I think it's a great idea to actually make that happen. All right, next topic. Rumor is Von Wagner will get a major push, and Vince and others see him as a future WrestleMania main eventer. He's the one that reminds Vince of Edge, right?
Yeah.
Had the look. I saw a picture on. He had the pony. He looked just like him. Looked like a 20-year-old Edge, right?
Yeah, it looked pretty impressive for his debut. I don't know if he's like... I don't get the main event, like, WrestleMania main event part, but... Who knows what the hell happens to people once they leave NXT anyway?
That's true.
Well,
it's never a good idea to go to the main roster.
And who knows what Vince is going to do, so I'll just leave it at that.
There you go. Who knows? We'll see. So time, unfortunately, will tell. Next topic. Rumor is Kevin Owens will be heading to AEW once his contract expires. And, of course, then Sami Zayn's name came up over the last week. When his contract expires, there was talk sooner than later than sooner, whatever, that he may be looking to opt out as well. But in the meantime, Kevin Owens seems to be resigned and will probably be heading to AEW.
Sometime before Christmas on Pro Wrestling Tees, Kill Steen Kill is going to be the #1 shirt on that website.
No, it's still going to be the Chiefs.
On wrestling, well, our shirt's not on Wrestling Tees just yet. We haven't reached the limit that they need, correct?
I can add 2 more designs on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, well,
there you go. Well, then
okay, I stand corrected then.
There you go.
I like Kevin Owens, though, and I creatively, I think he's been squashed.
He's been stunted.
Okay, that's a good word, stunted. The word of the day, stunted.
I don't know what's worse. Either WWE telling Adam Cole that he should be a manager for Keith Lee,
right?
Or WWE creative sticking Logan Paul with freaking Kevin Owens.
Right. I think that's more than anything else. I think that's as much alluding to what Chief said about where Kevin is on the card and what they're right now. They're setting him up for these gimmicky matches. That's really all that they're doing. So
go back and look at some of the matches we've seen some on WWE, but go back and look at some of Kevin Steen's matches on ROH, and. Same thing with Adam Cole. A good wrestler, but somebody in the hierarchy kind of likes to squash people, I guess.
Well, we know that Vince has his own desire in terms of the type of wrestler visually that he likes. And, the Daniel Bryan size, the Adam Cole size guys, just don't get the same push.
As a friend of ours says, though, they sell merch.
That's true. Well, that's true. They do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of more Undisputed and Adam Cole shirts in my life than I've ever seen a Von Wagner shirt.
Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate that. You are so right on.
I just want to remind everybody, if you are listening or watching the show not on the app because you had to switch over to something else, The Go Live Vegas app is back up and running. We had a little glitch this morning, but it is up and moving. Also, too, make sure that you reload it or do the not backup, but there are updates to it as well. If you haven't done that, please do so. That is great, and you can reconnect to the app if you need to go somewhere, take us on the go. So the only thing, YouTube is not up and running. We're having some problems with YouTube today, but other than that, we're on every other platform that we normally are on. Okay.
And a friend of mine said to me last week, and I'm going to do it again, I want a freaking women's show started on one of the wrestling networks, please.
Yeah, I mean, the women's shows, they're gaining a lot of ground. Before I forget, gentlemen, on Tuesday, September 28th, another Tuesday, the last Tuesday of September, guess where we'll be?
5905 Southeast Strand.
That is
Suite 109.
That is the Firehouse Sub shop located right there in Eastern and Rochelle, Okenda, right in front of the Walmart. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Listen, that is the show right before Unicon, and rumor has it, it's not a rumor. We have... Every time he brings that picture up, I laugh at that.
Who is this guy?
I don't know who the mask is. He's a masked wrestler. I don't think it's anybody particular, but that's our
as long as it ain't
mascot.
photoshopped another way.
Okay. I just wondered.
Ric Flair. But anyway, so yeah. So on that show, we're going to tie it to Unicon, and Karnonanichka will be joining us live. We also have signed pictures from her and April Hahn that we'll use for giveaways from, if you're a Glow fan, if you're not a Glow fan.
The Royal Hawaiian.
The Royal Hawaiian from the original Glow series. So Lori will be with us on September 28th from 7 to 8 p.m. at Firehouse Subs. And, of course, the grand prize will be a trip to Cancun. So make sure you're there for that. All right, with that, what do you say we get set to go to our first break? Because I think when we come back, we're going to start talking about Dark Side of the Ring. And I think that's going to take up some discussion based on what I'm seeing here, and of course, whatever else we have going on. Thank you for watching. Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
Hey, welcome back.
That's a hell of a countdown.
I was going to say the generic welcome back, the generic bumper. Listen, Aaron our first show, Unsportsmanlike Conduct, things were kind of glitching, so he's been working on getting things smooth again.
Papa Bear, did you get your coffee, sir?
Oh,
that's why.
There you go.
That's
That's
Go Live Vegas,
There
sponsored
it
by
is.
Wheaties.
I thought it was shredded wheat.
No, well, he doesn't eat
Great
breakfast.
nuts.
He doesn't eat breakfast anymore. So
I
we don't
know
what
I've
his
been
share is.
trying to entice him with a donut, but he won't even do that, man.
All right, here we go, guys.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's
Smell
rock
the
and roll.
diabetes.
702-329-6947. Press 1 to come into the studio. If you're outside the U.S., 855-502-4321. Also press 1. Why? We're going to start talking about the latest episode, Return of the Season of Dark Side of the Ring, The Flight from Hell, The Plane Ride from Hell, whatever the official title was, detailing a very long 7-hour sitting on the tarmac before an 8-hour trip home from overseas, a very successful trip, coming back and details in the story of what transpired. And I'm just going to use the word allegedly because none of us here were on that plane. And we're reacting to the reports that were given on the show by RVD, Tommy Dreamer, the stewardess, Doyle, I believe is her name, Cole Caban, I believe, and of course, JR was also interviewed for the show. So let's talk about this. Listen, the hottest topic right now, the hottest thing coming out of that is what was said by Tommy Dreamer. Your thoughts?
You know, I've had the honor of meeting Tommy more than once, and I've always recognized him as a gentleman, and I guess people's butts got hurt by what he said, and it's a shame though that he was suspended. In my belief, before all the facts were out, and are still out. Ric Flair, never met him, but you look at the dirt sheets. Well, yeah, he's running around the airplane with his robe on
and nothing else.
No, nothing else underneath.
And showing the goods to the stewardess.
Absolutely, and has been known to drink a few libations, and he's now suspended. I guess his commercials have been suspended.
Yeah, the national commercials for Car Shield, right?
Yes, sir. So, is it all hearsay? Is some of it true? My opinion, I'm waiting until the cold hard facts come out, and then I'm gonna make my decision.
It was like 19 years ago.
And that's why,
Isn't there a statute of limitations?
Well, if somebody tries to sue or whatever, there obviously is. But so really what we're just reacting to is the story. I don't think anything else legal can come out of it. But there were a couple of points of interest here before we get to maybe our specific reactions to Dreamer's specific comments, okay? This documentary showed JR to be the guy that had the pressure put on him to go in the back of the plane and calm everything down. And he's doing this as Vince McMahon is sitting right next to him, and McMahon is telling him, because you're head of talent relations, you got to go back and take care of this.
I've always said Vince McMahon has no balls. And there's the proof in the pudding right there.
To me, the level of what was going on, at least what was being portrayed in the documentary, it should have been Vince. Matt?
If Vince would have went around that curtain and be like, sit down, there would have been no Dark Side of the Ring story, because everyone would have shut up and sat there the whole flight. I think everyone uses everybody. Everyone else in the management is a pushover except for Vince. I think the boys just go around everybody doing whatever they want.
And JR was actually specifically asked, Kurt Hennig, not Kurt Hennig, he was fired pretty much on the spot. Yeah. Couple of suspensions and this and that, but there's only one individual that had no repercussions, and that was the Nature Boy. Yeah. And JR was specifically asked that question, why there was nothing on him, and JR's words were, because he's a made man.
Here's another point of view. How many things like that happen that are never talked about, or you never hear about, that happen in backstages?
Right.
Is there harassment backstage? Does a guy go around and grabbing a young lady's backside, or does a young lady grab a gentleman's genitalia? You don't never hear about things. Yeah. And I'm trying to be polite now and not use bad language. But does this type of stuff happen that the general public and the fans, which we are the general public, never hear about?
I don't know. Ric Flair's been around for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And sexual harassment, he's been known for doing dumb stuff his whole career.
I'm not even talking about Rick now.
I think if he was go around doing that kind of stuff, there would have been multiple reports of him trying to force the baby arm on people.
Let me just say this. Our good friend Mr. Palmer in the chat room asks us here. He has a question, and I'm going to quote from his. By the way, I have to say this, and our producer's 100% right that I was remiss in setting this up better. For those who don't know what the Dark Side of the Ring is, it's a documentary series that is produced on. Is it A&E? What channel is it on?
Vice TV.
Vice TV. Thank you. It's been on now for a handful of seasons, 4 or 5 seasons, and they do stories about former wrestlers, stories they investigate, all that sort of stuff. So in a way, it's a documentary more than anything else. And they return for the season, and last night's return episode was dictating the story of a hellish plane ride home from Europe for WWE performers some 20 years ago. The plane was still on the tarmac for nearly 7 hours because of a rain delay in Connecticut, and they hadn't even taken off out of Europe yet. So there they were on a chartered 757, some big ass plane and it was chartered through a company that's specific to chartering planes for sports teams, things like that. And so it was loaded with the liquor and everything else. And 7 hours sitting on the ground. Let's just say that the boys kind of got a lot of got anxious. And
they go through 3 liquor carts.
3 liquor carts. Henning was the biggest prankster. He put shaving cream on somebody's head. Michael Hayes' ponytail was cut off by X-Pac. All kinds of stuff that went on, and it's crazy. But this is the repercussion. So here's the comment. I'm sorry. Here's the comment that James put in the chat room asking us all. He doesn't condone what happened, but if the lady was so bothered and wanted to keep it quiet, why did she announce it on national TV? It almost seems like she had seen money. Now, I don't know that these people who are interviewed get paid for these interviews. I don't know that at all, right or wrong. So James, let me just say, I don't know if she was paid to be interviewed. It's 20 years since, and let's just say what it is. This is the hashtag Me Too movement. That's what this is part of. 2 years ago, that all came out because of, what was it, Harvey Feinstein or whatever the guy's name in Hollywood was. And something like this as a hashtag Me Too is coming out more now, probably from her perspective, because of that movement, where more and more individuals of some sort of perceived sexual harassment are standing up saying, hey, this is what happened to me 20 years ago or not. And one of the things that Dreamer said, right or wrong, in a way I kind of agree with it, if she felt that she was totally wrong, and I've not seen anything that talks about the settlement that she got. If you guys know that, please share it. It was never announced on the show.
I have no idea.
Her husband is the one that encouraged her to take the agreement because he wanted to protect the daughter and didn't want that stuff getting out. Now, the daughter's 20 years older, obviously. So it was the husband that encouraged her. She didn't want to. So let's clarify that first and foremost. But the husband convinced her to do that, to take the settlement. But Tommy did say if she fully believed, she, not the husband, she believed in 100% that what was done was improper, why did she take the settlement? And she should have or could have gone forward with criminal charges and move forward.
I think Matt had a good point, too. 20 years later.
Yeah, but
I wonder how long, if she took the deal, there was probably some clause in there, be like, you can't talk about this.
That's a great point.
For a certain amount of time
NDA,
or something to that effect.
And non-disclosure. That's a great point, and that could be why it took 20 years for it to come out. That's a great point. I'm going to echo what's being said here. I don't condone what happened. Was there maybe a sense of some humor attempted when you're sitting on the tarmac? Maybe, like Dreamer talked about it being possibly, look, it's lighthearted. I've never seen him do anything like this before. It was no ill intent. He's never pushed anybody up against the wall, etc. So I think Dreamer was kind of questioning her story, okay? But I don't know. If you believe you were wrong, why would you not go to the full extent of the law personally? And that's what she wanted to do. The husband is the one that came in and talked about the familiar settings and what it could do to the family, especially the daughter, if the full story comes out. And then the thing with Scott Hall, pulling her forward by her shirt, buttons ripping, and he's drunk and gets up and looks her on the face. It's crazy.
If one of the two stories you had to believe, I believe the second one for sure.
That's a great point.
I'm going to go a different route real quick, if I may. As an alcoholic, if those gentlemen emptied 3 carts of liquor, they were pretty pie-eyed. Okay, we all have a tolerance for alcohol, and when the alcohol starts talking, not the human but the alcohol, you don't really care or you don't really think about what you're doing. So that's another side to it, folks.
They probably all woke up the next morning and were like, what the fuck happened last night?
Well, they did. The next night they were on television. They were on Raw, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Hey, I want to thank everybody. Listen, the chat room is blowing up with comments and thoughts and questions, and that's terrific.
And you know what? Call in.
Exactly. Why?
because the chief said so.
702-329-6947 is our number. Press the number 1 to come into the chat room. Look, this is not a story that's going to go away. For those who don't know, Tommy Dreamer was indefinitely suspended, was the word yesterday. Fired. I haven't seen that. I'm using the words that were used by Impact. He's been suspended because he was a producer. Appears on television a couple of times. He's part of the creative team. And then, of course, Ric Flair, CarShield now has suspended using the commercials, the national commercials. Now, Brett mentioned that Ric Flair does a lot of local commercial ads in various cities, but CarShield is a national commercial. And so that one has been suspended at this time indefinitely. You brought up a good point, or one of you guys did, about how AEW may react to this now that Flair is part of their programming, it looks like.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're pulling him off, too. I think it's all just going to...
Tony Khan's not going to stand for that. At least I hope not.
Of all this stuff, they do some kind of knee-jerk reaction until it blows over, and then it'll go back to normal because the public will forget about it once something else happens. Just the way it goes.
Hey, Ben, thank you for jumping in there. Shant brings up a great point. Don't know why Dustin got a punishment. Of course, the rumor has is that he got on the PA system and was singing to Terry Runnels, his ex-wife now. All right, we have a caller calling in at this time. Caller, thank you for calling. Name or where are you calling from?
What's up, guys? This is Desert Shark here, a.k.a. Shant here.
Desert Shark. What's up, bud?
What's up, my man?
How you guys doing? I know you guys are talking about Dark Side right now. I just want to get out my 2 cents, okay?
Yep, come on.
Please do.
So I do feel sympathy for JR. JR had a tough job on that whole flight. And the fact that Vince McMahon is yelling at him, telling him what to do, that shows how much of a coward Vince McMahon is to his staff. I'm going to put that out. Now, for Ric Flair, Brock Lesnar, and I want to say other people like Scott Hall, they should have had repercussions for that at that time. But we didn't know that. All we heard was from dirt sheets, and then all of a sudden now we get this whole documentary out of a flight attendant that was there, and now we get that. And what are the repercussions going to be? Ric Flair, he hasn't been wrestling in almost 10 years. And now Brock Lesnar, he's scheduled to be having a championship match soon. So
in Saudi Arabia, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And I wouldn't want to go to Saudi Arabia.
Neither would I. Trust me, neither would I.
The story I heard about that really make you seem like Vince is a coward.
So we'll see. So like I said, we'll see what the repercussions will be in the future now that this documentary is out. And keep in mind, WWE just took out their Storytime animated show about that plane ride. They took it off their network.
Right.
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, this is certainly not going to be the end of this. I know that it's going to be talked about. You won't see it talked about in any of the shows, of course, but stay attuned to dirt sheets, I'm sure, and other postings by those that are supposedly in the know. This is not going to go away, and it's food. It's an interesting topic. I mean, 20 years ago, society was very different than it is today. 20 years ago, these situations come out. It was like, what did they say during the show? Don't sell it, right? That's what they told these people. Don't sell what happened. Don't talk about it. And I think, 20 years ago, our society was the same way when it came to situations like this. Now here it is 20 years later, the Me Too movement, we're more of a not cautious society, but more of an aware society when things like this happen.
Snowflakes.
I still say, Aaron,
thank you, Shan, for calling, buddy.
No problem, guys. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
I still say, Aaron, I wonder how much happens behind the scenes that we don't know about today.
Jameis, there was reports. Jameis mentions in here that if this happened on a regular plane, the feds would have been waiting for them at the airport. I do recall at the end in the story that the FBI was questioning what was going on at some point after they landed, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't hear that part.
I vaguely, for some reason, remember hearing that the FBI was there somewhere along the way. I could have been sleeping when I watched it. Brett?
No, the reason why is because JR said that was any other
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Fair enough. Thank you. So, yes, so that is, he clarified what JR said. If it would have been any other commercial flight, the FBI would have been there. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, you know what? We're a few minutes behind. Let's take a break. Then when we come back, I know Chief's fired up for a rant. He hasn't done a rant in a couple of weeks, and I know he's got a doozy prepared for us all. So with that, we want to thank you all for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. The Chief will be up next with his rant. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
If you order Firehouse subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with rapid rescue to go. Firehouse subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
God, people now are offended by fucking everything.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
I don't know. I think I explained the episode pretty well. Did I miss anything?
No.
Do we have to do Thoughts Count Anywhere for dummies now?
Coming to a bookshelf near you. Hey,
For the non-wrestling fans listening to a wrestling podcast.
Because the Chief said so.
That's right. All right, before we go to the Chiefs rant, we talked about a book. Hey, by the way, my book, Let My Voice Speak to You, I put it out there, courtesy of iLifestyle Global. If you purchase a book...
That's the craziest book deal I have ever heard in my life.
If you purchase a book via Kindle, and if you do that, please send me a snapshot that you purchased it. That would be great. Or message me for an autographed copy. I'll give you all the details. I will set you up for a free complimentary trip to Cancun. 5 days, 4 nights for 4 adults or 2 adults and 2 kids. That's all you got to do. Just buy my book. I'll hook you up. Let My Voice Speak to You. There's the Amazon hook there for Kindle. You need to message me for a hard copy autograph. By the way, that offer ends September 30th.
Hey, folks.
And if you can't go, you can transfer it to somebody else.
It's wild.
Hey, folks. I've read the book. It's a good book. Seriously, it's a very good book. So buy it because the Chief says so.
That's the tagline I wanted to hear. Okay, with that, without further ado, everybody's ready for Chief's rant. So are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
All right, let's hit the music. The Chiefs rant in 30 seconds. Is it just me or is the Tasmanian devil get more carried?
It's a little more fire in
And it's not white. Hey, good morning, folks. It's the Chief, and it's the Chief's rant. It's normal 3 minutes, now it's 2:58. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about, and I kind of alluded to it a little earlier. We were talking about the Ric Flair and my good friend Tommy Dreamer, and I made mention of what happens behind the scenes that we don't know about. Well, I went to an event recently, and on the show, there was a wrestler who remained nameless and found out he was a pedophile, and he wrestled on the show. Now, whose responsibility is it? Is it ownership? Is it the booker? Is it the fellas in the back room to get this person kicked out? Should never been wrestling, okay? Never been wrestling, and should never wrestle again. Then you have a referee at the same show, after the show, is harassing women. And not only did he referee the first night, he refereed the second night. Well, you know, there comes a point in time where the back room has got to take charge. And if you don't take charge, you're not going to have a good product. And if you don't have a good product and the fans find out about it, well, guess what? The fans aren't coming. So I wasn't happy about it when I found out because a friend of mine, his son wrestled, who was underage, and this pedophile was in the back room, and I got kind of pissed off about it. And if I'd have found out before the show was over, I would have gone in the back room, and that son of a bitch would have been escorted out of the show. Just the Chiefs rant this week, something for y'all to think about. I'm not going to get upset about it, and I'm not going to cuss about it, but that's my thought. And that is the Chiefs rant. Chief over and out.
There you have it. By the way, referee Ben, who of course we all know very well, he is saying in here that the referee who you're referring to, was only there on night 2. He was not there on night 1, according to Ben's information.
He was at the show.
He was at the show?
He was at the show. He may not have reffed, but he was at the show.
Right, there you go. All right. Okay, so we're still going to take comments regarding the Dark Side of the Ring episode. If you want to add comments to the Chiefs rant, but I think it's time we need to cover some actual wrestling. What do you think?
Hell yeah!
I want to do a shout out.
We charge for those.
Versus Pro Wrestling today, 2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
At the Boulevard Mall. Next Friday night at Diversion, FSW's 10th anniversary show. So they're the 2 big shows that are coming up.
All right. There you go. So mark your calendars.
And then we've got Unicon October 1 through 3.
Yes, and Versus will be having some matches there as well.
Yes,
as a matter of fact, look for Thoughts Count Anywhere, courtesy of Unicon folks and Go Live Vegas. We will be there on Saturday, October 2nd, doing our show from Unicon, as we will Unsportsmanlike Conduct and Twin Brothers and every other show that I think the network has Fridays, Saturdays. I don't think we have any live shows on Sundays, but we will be there all weekend. Brett will be there, not only doing the show, but we'll be roaming around doing some live coverage. So it should be great, be a great opportunity for everything.
I'll be there Friday, so I'm going to try to get some guests on for Saturday.
Perfect. That would be great. That would be great. All right, let's get into some WWE news. Some good news this week. Big E called his shot, coming in to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and he is now the new WWE Heavyweight Champion, beating Bobby Lashley.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Now, of course, that means that...
Don't fall this time.
Yeah, right. That means the New Day... that means the New Day now is back in full force, back on Raw now.
Yeah, glad to see it. It's about time.
I'm sorry, I'm just watching the scroll come across. You know, there was a story last week. Jonathan Coachman, the coach, said that he's owed some big money by the WWE for a bounce check covering expenses, and they're saying the check ranges anywhere between $8,000 and $20,000 for travel reimbursement.
Yeah, that's real big money for Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
Really. I don't think Vince knows what a bounce check even means.
And that's why he doesn't want to appear back on the show with Vince, because of between $8,000 and $20,000.
Well, just the whole thing that he called to, you know, first of all, the check bounce, because that's money out of his pocket. It was a reimbursement for travel expenses.
I understand.
And
that.
he called numerous times to try to get it resolved. No answer, no reply, no resolution. And so, listen, somebody owes you money.
Maybe they sent him a plastic bag.
Shredded.
Long as it's full of money, send me that bag.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to some other WWE news. Now, speaking of champions on NXT, Samoa Joe had to relinquish his title because of a quote-unquote undisclosed injury. So the next night, I believe they had a fatal four-way, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And Tommaso Ciampa won his baby gold back, right?
Yes.
Daddy's home.
That's it. So big news happening there. Listen, from what I understand, the NXT 2.0 got a very solid showing for the rebrand this past week. They had a pretty good TV rating. I think everybody was surprised.
Everyone was curious, I think.
Yeah.
It was a good show. They had good matches on there.
Yeah, it was a good show, and
I like Rick Steiner's son, though.
They're not allowed. I did see. It's funny you say it that way, because WWE is not allowed to refer to him as Rick Steiner's son.
I'm not WWE.
No, I
wonder if Vic Joseph got in trouble for saying he was a dog-faced gremlin.
Chief Chief can say what he wants.
No, I understand.
I'm not WWE. I liked Rick Steiner's son.
No,
and
and
I think he's going to have a good career.
But
We're going to have to give you a list of prohibited words
But
next
when you
week.
said it, it just
Yes,
reminded...
please.
Exactly.
You won't be here, so you can't. Just email it to me.
No, but when you said it, it reminded me of the article that I had read. So I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, buddy.
By the way, yes, Matt will be actually in California with Scott Hosey with Power Play doing stuff out there. But we will have Matt on Connection at some point as we start the show. Is that correct? Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
And Brett Lawson from Unsportsmanlike Conduct will be filling your chair for the week. So we're calling Brett in from the bullpen, from the broadcaster bullpen. Right, he's warming up. He's got to warm it up. No, not the arm.
And here goes Papa Bear, blazing out. Let's go. Come on.
Someone needs his coffee or pee-pee.
That's all right. I must have hit something, so...
Why are you sneaking behind us? It's not that kind of show.
let me get my big bag.
sound pads.
Gotcha.
Sound pads there. So Chief is going to do a little house cleaning here. Can you turn right around behind you, Chief? He trips over my bag over here. There you go. The soundboard. There you go. There you go. So he tells us just keep talking. But anyway, so that's next week.
That must have happened when I did my Chiefs rant.
That could be. The ghosts were pulling them off the. You know what? That's another good idea, Jameis. We'll have to look at that down the line. Jameis puts in that we should bring Nicholas Burnett in as a co-host.
Hey, shout out!
At least as a guest.
Cool.
Hey, shout out to all the people that sell wrestling memorabilia too.
Absolutely, I didn't know
Too
there was
many
that
of
many.
you to list today because we got too much to talk about.
Exactly.
But y'all know who you are.
MVP broke a rib taking an RKO on the floor on Raw and will be out indefinitely. Does that
Should
mean
have broke two of them.
Does that mean he can't be a manager still to walk out?
Who cares?
Just don't touch him. Why could he not walk out? And rumor also then has it that the Hurt Business may be getting back together. Its original members. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I heard.
They put some different members in it. Maybe almost or I was going to say Naomi, but I'm sure she's about to join the bloodline.
Oh, well, she's already over on SmackDown.
momentarily.
She's already on SmackDown. So,
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see. You know, Keith Lee's name came up originally when they were talking about the Hurt Business, that he might be a good addition to that. I don't know. Would it make sense if the original members were to get back together, Lashley, Benjamin, and Alexander? I don't think so. I think a rebrand of the Hurt Business is probably a better idea.
It's WWE creative. Do you really expect anything less?
No, of course not. All right, let's run through a couple more topics before we try to take our last break of the show. WWE is getting pressure from the networks, we're talking USA and Fox, to treat Raw and SmackDown as equal shows. First of all, that can't happen when you have Raw that's 3 hours and SmackDown that's 2. Right away, that kills imbalance, so they can forget that unless USA convinces Raw to go to 2 hours, which they won't because it's an extra hour of commercial revenue.
And SmackDown's a way better show. They're going to have to dumb down SmackDown or redo something to Raw because those aren't even kind of equal shows.
1 hour women's show. Thank you.
They have enough women to pull that off anymore?
Absolutely.
New trademark. WWE trademarks a new name for Becky Lynch. It is Big Time Bex is the new name. I don't like it. I just don't like the name, but that's just me.
What'd she do? Get a boob job?
Well, she's now wearing the big fur
Not
coat.
big boob Bex, big time Bex.
Oh.
Well, she is probably breastfeeding. She had a kid, so who knows?
See,
True,
there,
right? I mean,
see, there you go. You start thinking the wrong way, and then before you know it, everybody will be blasting me.
You sure you weren't on that plane?
By the way, you'll notice a crawl on the screen right now if you are watching us. You can't see it, obviously, if you're on the app. But a lot more news and stories going on behind under our screen there that we are not either going to cover yet or have not been able to get everything in there. But please, you'll see some quick headlines down there as well, okay? Yes, Jameis mentions Young Bucks trademark SuperClick. I do remember reading that as well. So, KLIQ. Didn't we see that before in the past? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's see. We talked Mandy Rose, new look.
I think she looks hot.
I love it. I love the new look.
I do too.
I like it.
I think she looks better without the blonde hair.
I think it's great. And then as long as her
She looks better without a lot of things on.
Watch.
like clothes. Like
watch.
clothes? Is that what you mean?
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
I did.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
No. I hope I never do, to be honest.
Excuse me.
Yeah, right. I never wanted to get out of the gutter. The only time it'll be out of the gutter is when I die. And at that point, it may still be in the gutter. Who the hell? The wedding on it, there's no crazy ending.
Hey, I got to ask, and was that a real wedding? Or was that a work?
It had to have been a work just because of the way it was, but when I watched it, it actually got to the end. I was like, what the hell?
No, and I'm being serious. Was that a real wedding or was it a work? I don't know.
I think Dexter Loomis is married in real life.
Okay.
You know what? Brett, while you're sitting there, go into Google and look up Dexter Loomis and see who he's married to.
Please.
Brett's filling in for Chief as our research grad staff on the couch over
my
there.
my 3/4 Halfheimer's
Exactly. Hey, Bianca Belair gets a proclamation from her hometown mayor on SmackDown, and guess who it was? Kane!
And guess what? She's another volunteer from my alma mater.
There you go.
I'll have you know.
There you go.
Go Rocky Top.
What's it? Is his wife? Yeah. Indy Hartwell's his wife. So it was real. Isn't that who we got married to last night?
Yep.
So it was a real wedding. Well, obviously, let's put it this way. Yeah, you can bring up the picture of Miss Mandy Rose there if you have it. Absolutely.
Hey, if anybody in the chat room can help us out
well,
too.
that's a previous look. That's what she was. That's what Mandy was before her new look changed to brunette and all the leather.
Where's
Do
Sean?
we have to explain to Aaron what we're talking about this time?
Where's Sean when we need him? Sean.
Oh my goodness! By the way, what's his name?
Type in Mandy Rose Burnett.
That's right. Garth made it into the chat room finally.
It's
by the way,
about time. Hey Garth, how's the move, buddy?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now the last comment under WWE: former presidential candidate Andrew Yang is starting a fight with WWE about classifying their talent as independent contractors. I thought we'd already had this argument. Aren't they independent contractors? There we go. There's the look. Miss Mandy in her leather, the brunette look. I love it. So it works for me.
I think she looks better than Carmella. That is saying a lot.
You really like Carmella that
Hell
much?
no.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't like Hubcap either.
Just kidding.
That's your favorite.
Oh, wait. He downgraded her from a hood ornament to hubcap.
Yeah.
Downgraded. Okay, do we have time for our last break there, Mr. Producer? All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, a couple of notes from AEW and some others and pop culture, and then birthdays, and we'll be out. Go. We'll be back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
If you order Firehouse subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with rapid rescue to go. Firehouse subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
All right, welcome back. Chief.
The name of the day, Sailor Art Thomas.
Sailor Art Thomas.
The name of the day, Sailor Art Thomas.
All right. Hey, you know what? Before we run out of time, everybody loves this, so we're going to change gears real quickly to some birthdays.
Happy birthday to you.
That's right. Before we go over some of the last bits of news that we have. So, I know the music will pop up here behind us as we get ready. So, as always, if you're celebrating a birthday today, September 18th through next Friday, we want to wish you all a happy birthday from all of us here at TCA. So if you're celebrating on September 19th, hey, how about Gerald Briscoe, Hubcap, Eva Marie, Renee Young, now known as Renee Paquette, of course, She's actually doing a new show on Sirius with Misha Tate.
Yeah.
And I heard that
Why don't
her,
we get calls from
and
Sirius Radio?
and I heard that her contract is definitely up now with WWE. Even the
Oh, it's been, her
Yeah.
90 days.
Yeah, go on.
She's on. Okay. September 20th, Arn Anderson, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Kavita Devi, and Ethan Page. September 21, Jack Briscoe and Ricky Morton. September 23rd, Matt Hardy, who we've had on our show before.
Yes, we have.
Kyrie Sane, Angel Garza. And if you're celebrating on September 24th, hey, the queen of WWE, Stephanie McMahon, Shane Thorne, and I wish she would get back into the ring, Miss Sonya Deville. Thank you very much. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday, be safe. And you're celebrating your birthday with all those people. What's that?
You guys forgot one.
Who?
Mine.
When's your birthday?
Tuesday.
Upcoming?
The
I
21st.
didn't know that.
He's responsible for birthdays. Well,
Oh, no shit.
so the 23rd, let's add Mr. Matt Mullen. Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
How old you going to be? Do you want to share?
29.
38.
38, right on. Good for you. All right.
29.
So happy birthday to everyone. Listen, email.
Hey, Matt, I'm really sorry, buddy.
Oh, that's all good.
That's Matt in his height. No, that's not Matt in his heyday.
That there is Sailor Art Thomas, and I know you were listening to it this morning.
Yes, I was.
I was listening to it.
Busted open.
Busted Open was talking about the
Top 10, was it?
the top 10 in African American wrestlers that came along into the business. Sailor Art Thomas was a tag team partner of Bobo Brazil.
There you go. So great. That's a great mention there. All right, let's go into some AEW Impact and ROH reports real quickly. PCO to leave Ring of Honor after his contract is up in November. Do you see anyone signing the 53-year-old former ROH World Champion?
I don't see anybody signing Carl Ouellette. No, I don't.
Okay.
I can see WWE signing him as like a trainer or something, but I don't know if anybody's going to sign him as like a full-time wrestler.
Another birthday, just came through the pipeline courtesy of Mr. Ben in 2 days, which would make it Monday, whatever Monday's date is, the 20th.
20th.
DeShade is celebrating a birthday. Our buddy Shade over at Versus and FSW fame and my breakout star of 2021. So happy birthday, Shade. Did not know that. Thank you, Ben.
Hey, Ben, do we get you're going to hold him down while we put the licks on you today, man, since we won't see him Tuesday, huh? Okay.
Now,
I'm challenging you now, buddy.
Real quickly, Tommy Dreamer, we talked about suspended from Impact, all of his comments. Now, what happens with him on Busted Open? And according to Jameis, speaking of Busted Open, people are talking about boycotting it until Dreamer isn't involved anymore. Again, that's big stuff going on with that. All right, next topic. AEW is now estimated to be worth $400 million. Thomas, put it in the chat room. Who is it?
That's a drop in the bucket when Tony Khan's worth 7.4.
And what's WWE worth nowadays?
4.3, 4.4 billion, I think.
Okay, so he's got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega this Wednesday at the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
I'm looking forward to it. Question: did they ever wrestle each other on ROH?
Omega and Danielson?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So this will be the first time. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Let me just say, I'm sorry, people are jumping in here with birthdays. Let me ask everybody out there, please go to our Thoughts Count Anywhere show page on Facebook. And if you have birthdays, whether it's friends or people associated with the show, yada, 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 please just post it on our page. We'll pick it up off of our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to include that in our birthday list. Okay, so please go there. If you don't like the page yet, why the hell not? You got to be watching us on there. Share the page with your friends. I mean, we're only getting 30, 40, 50, 60,000 views a week. That's all. So get them on there. So please post your birthdays on there. Chief can pick them up. We'll pick them up and add them to our birthday list. As of 2021, the WWE net worth is listed at $6.21 billion. Despite viewership hiccups, WWE is doing mighty fine in the revenue department, and everybody still says that's pointing more towards merchandise as the biggest revenue seller right now.
And shout out to Thomas Burnett next Friday. I'll see you, and buddy, I'm going to put the licking on your ass. Happy birthday.
Thomas Burnett's birthday is on Friday. Thank you, Thomas. Listen, the Burnett brothers, they're big supporters of TCA.
Bros.
As are all the fans that are in the chat room. We thank them.
Top Rope Collectibles. Matt, did you guys do your show this past Wednesday?
No, Scott was out of town, so we didn't get any new stuff.
Okay.
Hey, listen, by the way, I want to mention about Versus. You know, something was going on the last couple of shows, and all of a sudden this new group on Facebook popping up, the Syndicate, whoever, whatever's going on with the Syndicate
The freaking jabronis.
And I think the first time these guys got thrown out,
I hope they try to throw food today, because I'll be there, and I will have my kendo stick.
All I know is that they are supposedly going to show up and cause havoc again. So,
I hope so.
Versus 2 p.m. at the Boulevard Mall, right?
I will drop kick you.
Tony Khan says he has some stuff up his sleeve coming soon to AEW. Any idea?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement with that, right? Green Arrow, Stephen Amell says he will be at Dynamite this week. I guess since Cody's back in action, he'll be there to support Cody, right?
I would imagine so, since they had Rosario Dawson on Dynamite last week, and then him and Cody have a history, so I'd imagine he's going to get involved in the Malachi Black situation.
Yeah. Hey, before we go to pop culture, I want to ask everybody who's in the chat room, all of our fans, you can even post your comments, and we should maybe do a poll on Facebook or on our website. And we haven't even talked about updating our brackets. So it's been a while. We've been so busy with guests and our celebrations of episodes. But we still have our bracket up on our website, thoughtscountanywhere.com. For the best finishers, that bracket is still up and running. Yep. But I want to know from our fans whether they'd like to see Thoughts Count Anywhere extended show, maybe to 90 minutes. Maybe a full 2-hour show. Love to hear their comments if they'd like to have, because we rush through this, but would love to know if the folks out there would love to have an extended. And just as I say that, the sound barriers in the back.
Peanut gallery.
The sound gallery, the sound pieces back there fall. That's my buddy Ray. Don't worry about it. One fell down. We'll fix it before the next show. Exactly. Okay, real quickly, couple of pop culture. Norm Macdonald, 61 years old, the great stand-up comedian and actor, passed away from cancer at the age of 61 this week. A lot of people found him dry in his delivery, but he had a great mind.
That was hilarious.
SNL news guy and all that. He had a TV show and everything else. He was great.
Yeah.
I met him a couple times. He was a super nice guy, too. It was real sad to hear.
As most of them are, aren't they?
That's all right. Debatable.
Life is Beautiful is this weekend in Vegas. Hey, got
60,000 people per day.
As a matter of fact, I have that on my list to talk about on Twin Brothers later on. But there's a lot of lane closures in and around downtown, folks. You got to check it out.
National Broadcasting Convention canceled.
Yes, and the National Association of Broadcasters.
And that's got to bother you,
It does, because I had my passes ready to go. Aaron had passes. We were heading down there. But
where was my pass?
It's online. You have to I registered for it. You can get free passes. But right now, it's not canceled technically. It's been postponed to April. But it was supposed to be here in a couple of weeks.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, if that happens, and other conventions and things see that happening, our convention business could start hurting.
I know the broadcasting convention was huge.
Oh, always. At least 100,000 people. Yes. So, yes, what are we clicking? There you go. Look at that picture we just found. Look at that. Who are
my
those
man,
two guys?
Matt. There we are.
Matt with when was that picture taken?
A couple years ago after a stand-up show at the South Point.
Right on.
Awesome.
Did you send that to him, or did he find it?
I had it on my Facebook page.
Right on. Good for you. That's a great picture.
Yeah.
Good job.
Outstanding, brother.
Last but not least, this is something that I totally missed. The Clippers are getting a new arena?
Yeah, they're getting like a multi-billion-dollar stadium in like Inglewood.
Good luck with taxes and bonds to get that thing done. What the heck?
Third
floor, lingerie, pools, hardware.
You know what we haven't heard about?
What's that?
The Oakland A's. We haven't heard anything about them recently.
No, we have not. Last week,
very quiet.
Yes,
I've heard stuff, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
You've heard stuff.
Who's your sources? That's what you tell me. Who's your source?
I got news for you. It looks like we're getting some people who have commented in it, wants it extended, and everybody else is suggesting 2 hours. Just keep in mind, if we go to 2 hours, expect a phone call, because we're going to need a sponsor or two or three for that second hour so that we can extend, because we do have a lot to talk about, and we do kind of rush through it, and when we have guests and everything, kind of takes up our time. We are over a couple of minutes, so we'll look into it. But we may need help from businesses.
Hey, come on down to Versus today. Come see me. The chief will be there. I'll be signing autographs. No, not really. Next Friday night, FSW 10th anniversary show at Diversion. Come
Are they
see
bringing
me.
in anybody?
Come see me, and I'll be signing autographs there too. Not really.
Speaking of autographs, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book,
Yes, please do.
Although, Nicholas, this does not pertain to you. I have yours in my hand. There are copies of my book autographed at the counter at Versus Pro Studios. So if you want to grab a book, if you do purchase one, I will give you a Cancun trip. So if you do get one today, that would be great. Just let me know.
And not next week, but the week after, I'm going to be showing a picture on screen. Hopefully my cohort in crime is going to finish it up for me this next week, and I'm going to show a picture on the screen. And
all right.
It's
With
going
that,
to be awesome.
With that, guys, we are over our book. Again, those we'll see you at Versus Mac. Have a great week.
Thank you.
See you, Ben.
Chief, have a great week. I'll see you in a couple hours, actually, at Versus.
Yes, sir. Everybody, have a good week, and please be safe.
Be safe. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. For the crew here, we'll see you next week right here on Thoughts Count Anywhere.